My name's James Duggan. We're going to work on punching today, punching with power, driving power out of the ground. So we're going to give ourselves a stance and try and derive the power out of that stance into our techniques, a range of techniques. We can't just punch straight forward, we need to be able to punch forward and from the side and from over the top and from underneath. So we're just going to work on structuring ourselves in a reasonable stance that you can adjust to suit yourself, and then work from there to give us some great power into our punches. First thing we're going to work on is the tool we're going to use, the fist form. Must work on a nice, tight, compressed fist. There can't be any air in this. So from here, I'm going to roll my fingers up, tighten into a ball, and then lock down with the thumb. So tightening up and locking down with the thumb. Flat across the top of the wrist, two cipher knuckles or two biggest knuckles at this stage pointing at the target, the furthest distance away from our body. So I don't want to have these knuckles pointing forward. I want to roll that over so my wrist is straight and therefore won't buckle when I hit with it. This is very important as we've got to deliver so much energy through this point via that wrist. So we need to keep that nice and straight and strong. Hold that up, lock it down, keep it flat on top. That's our fist form. The next thing we need to work on is the structure of our stance and the alignment of our punching. So from the structure of our stance, we want to be nice, shoulder width apart, center our weight between our feet, and place our hands in front in a defensive position. From here I need to align my elbow behind my two knuckles that we spoke about in fist form. From that point out to the target. This is obviously just a basic straight punch. The height can vary, but we just want to keep the elbow, the hip, all in a line out to the destination. So from there, straight out and back all the time. Avoid letting that elbow fly out. This is quite often what people want to do. They want to throw their elbow up because they rotate their hand. Rotate your hand from the wrist across the forearm so that the elbow keeps pointed at the ground. From this point, we have a nice straight delivery mechanism. Your back foot via your hip, through your elbow, into your hand. Sounds complicated, but that's how a punch has to happen. So just nice straight alignment, and then we'll have a delivery system for power. Okay, from here, once we get back into our stance and we're centered, so my weight is here, between my 2 feet. I now want to understand an axis that runs through my head, down straight through my body, and out through my pelvis, down to that center point. Meaning that I'm not leaning off to either side, or leaning forward, or backward, more commonly. So from here, I'm just as straight this way as I am here. So that axis allows me now to turn without any variation. So my shoulders and hips are free to turn. So understand that axis, because every time we punch, we need to turn around that axis. Understand that my hips, if I lean forward, I'm going to create this sway. I'm going to change my vision, so I won't be accurate and I won't be able to deliver power. My shoulders need to articulate with my hip as I punch. Alright, and from here, once we understand our axis, we're going to push and pull through our legs so that we get the drive required to push power through our arm. Remember, our arm is not delivering the power, it's our legs, and it's the grounding of our stance that drives power into the target. So from here, as we step, we need to be able to push off our back leg, fairly self-explanatory, which gives the power into that punch. We just align our arm, as we spoke about, to deliver the power from our leg. Our leg is much stronger than our arm. So from here we want to drive from that point. We then articulate around that axis we spoke about. So we have drive from the ground, rotation around our axis, and then finally the arm steering the power. As an advanced section to that, we also have a small pull on the front leg. Of course, I can pull myself forward in motion. So I can also push off the back and pull on the front to give myself just a little bit more drive between my feet into there. Very simple. So from the side, if I'm in a static position, I'm not moving, I'm just standing and punching, it becomes from this basic just arm movement to a very, very dynamic push off the ground, rotation. The body is the bit. Before I even throw the punch, this is the thing you need to really work on. Pushing off the ground, and there's the punch. That's just a steering thing. This is just a mechanism of delivery. Don't think of it as the punch. The punch is the body. Again, from the front, you really need to move and penetrate your presence into that target. There. Okay, just concentrating on the drive from our feet, getting the power from the ground, through our legs, through our hip into that technique that we've spoken about, the reversing in here. Okay, important thing to remember, make sure your elbow is pointing down at the ground, in nice and close to your hip. And from there, as we punch, want to keep that elbow in at all times.